I'm Jeff Cheatham. I'm one of the regional managers here at Domino North America. Without further ado, allow me to introduce you. This is Mr. Ray Hook. He's the Director of Global Serialization with PCI. So if you wouldn't mind, maybe just tell me a little bit about yourself, PCI, and what's really important is how in the heck are you getting through these crazy times we're all trying to live in?
Yeah, sure, not a problem, and thank you. Glad to be here.
My pleasure.
As you mentioned, my name is Ray Hook. I am Director of our Global Sterilization Group. With that, I have responsibilities for serialization at all of our sites.
I mean, what kind of challenges do you really face in contract manufacturing, contract packaging today?
Well, everyone kind of faces different challenges, and especially in today's environment. We'll kind of approach them in different ways. Some of the biggest challenges that we are facing, namely with COVID and stuff like that, is that technical support on the floor. While we used to be able to go out on the floor all the times now, just for safety of our employees as well, we try to limit the people to the production floor as much as possible to only those critical to production. The more we can pull off in that and do things remotely, the better off it is.
It's interesting, just because, as I said, kind of a shameless plug here, we seem to be doing really well business-wise through this. I obviously don't need to delve into your business and how busy you are, but with the growth going on, it seems like we're seeing a lot of folks continuing to invest in equipment. And, historically, I think that's always been something we've found from working with you guys, is you've invested heavily in new technologies. You've really always looked for the next opportunity to really improve your business. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Sure. One of the things that we've always believed in kind of the axiom of a movie a while ago: if you build it, they will come. So obviously, with everyone else, we needed to invest heavily to meet the DSCSA guidelines, but also to make sure that we have enough equipment at our disposal to handle new routine jobs as they come up. Lead times of equipment can easily be in the 5 to 6 months range now. FATs and SATs and stuff are really not happening, so that kind of extenuates things and makes that equipment harder to get. So we like to have that equipment on hand, and we do have a good number of equipment on hand that we can retool as necessary.
No, makes total sense. I mean, considering how flexible you need suppliers to be. I mean, what kind of things are you looking for from your suppliers in order to kind of meet those requirements that you have to work within, in your everyday existence?
Lead time. So we try to get things standard as possible. So we look for equipment that's either available, used equipment on the marketplace that we can just bring in and retool, or change as necessary in-house.
Have you found that, just based on your philosophies towards investment in equipment, has that given you some kind of a competitive advantage in the marketplace?
With having a good amount of that equipment and standardized equipment to start with as a base, I said we have the people in-house. We can quickly adjust and reconfigure those lines as necessary for those new jobs and customers. This has definitely given us an advantage of being able to bring the lines up quickly. So when we have customers that say they want to launch in 4 or 5 months, say, okay, we can meet that.
From the standpoint of some of our previous conversations, I know that, automation was a big thing that you guys have always looked at to really drive efficiency. Can you maybe elaborate a little bit more on how you've used that to get to where, you're really driving the kind of efficiency that you guys need to be competitive, successful, profitable, all those things?
The more we can automate, the less people we need to have on the floor. So that actually brings us to a point to where we can have more safety, more distancing on the floor, especially in this day and age. And also, obviously, the more efficient we become, mainly in changeovers.
How do you typically choose a supplier, and why do you pick somebody like Domino to support your needs?
Well, a lot of it is capability of equipment. One of those big things that was out there is connectivity, that we had to now connect everything. So before then, a lot of our lines are islands, I would say. While a lot of equipment and technology was connected on the lines, they were not interconnected or necessarily not connected to the plant. As we started out with sterilization, now we have to do that. It kind of gives us that advantage in the fact that once we have that connectivity, It is there. It gives us the remote access to the equipment on the floor, so that while we are going through those changeovers or going through setups and we need to have specialized capability on the floor, now it's just a call and somebody connecting remotely. Works out quite well.
And Domino's done a good job with you, I take it, from that standpoint.
Yes, from the aspect of the printer, and that connectivity has been many cases, even with remote sites. Ireland is a big one for us. They just have some current shortages and technical people on the floor. So if they come up with a new job or a new setup and they need somebody to say, how do you set the printer up for this specific job? Anybody from any of our sites on the technical team can remote in and do that. So we have people from our UK site help out with Ireland, or Rockford help out with Ireland, and sometimes even vice versa. Ireland site is up and running, it's their daytime. We have something happening in the middle of the night, put out that support, and we have that work in reverse as well.
No, man, I think that's the beauty of our relationship with the global connection for both of us, is that we have that luxury. So, again, glad we're so well aligned, and again, not trying to make this into a Domino commercial. So we'll continue the education process for our virtual audience, but I appreciate your perspective on suppliers in general and how we're able to help you be successful, which I think is our mutual goal here. Is there any other, underground news in the industry that, maybe would be helpful to enlighten our customers that are potentially watching this, or anything newsworthy that you think might be worth sharing with them?
Probably nothing I can share overall, but
Okay.
as within the news, I mean, vaccines are coming up. We do have some part of that. So the times that we are in today will not last.
Much appreciated. Certainly, I think all the points that you've made just reinforce the things that we've talked about, and that is technology, innovation, the right suppliers, flexibility. These things are all key components, as well as the support that you need now in this virtual world to keep your plant production up and running. So thanks for sharing the importance of that, and for reassuring me that Domino's doing the right types of things for you and our other customers and prospects that are in the virtual audience today. So we hope you got something out of your time here invested on us today, and thanks very much for joining us in my home office, also known as PAC Expo of St. Charles, and we look forward to seeing you and talking to you again soon.